Alright guys, we're back. Welcome to the Music City Kartplex Rental Kart Racing League. This is week 5. This is a 6-week series, so this is the second to last race. I'm going to start off a little qualifying here. Beautiful summer evening today, just really not a cloud in the sky out there. Sunset right on the horizon. Everything's green. It's deep in the spring, coming close to summertime here. It's about 85 degrees, just a perfect day for karting. Alright, here we started qualifying. We're just going to scrub the tires, get a little heat in the tires. We're going to speed it up a little bit here and move around to the start-finish line where they actually start the timing laps. And here we come around this final turn here. The start-finish line's right on the right side. You can see that little white barrier. That's where the start-finish line is. And we're just going to go through our first lap here. It's the hot lap. We're doing reverse direction again on the race tonight, but on the back we are not running the bus stop, so we've taken out 4 corners back here, so it's a much faster pace. Right here it's just a big long back straightaway. A lot of fun. Keep a lot of speed from hairpin to hairpin, so you really have to time your braking zone here, where you're braking, and how to rotate around that corner, so it makes it a lot of fun. Alright, coming back around to the last corner here, onto the front straightaway. We're going to cross that start-finish line. Right there, 10 qualifying. We're going to end up in P3, so that puts us in the heat race, starting in the number 3 position. That's always the goal, is to start as high as you can and finish as high as you can in the qualifying, so you can start in the front area of the heat races and the final races. So 25 racers tonight. We have a full house. That's as full as you can get on these races, so the crowd is growing in size, and it's a lot of fun to have this many racers out on the track. As you can see, those clear skies have given way to just an isolated rain shower, just a light drizzle, but it is putting some water on the track. And like a roadway, when it just starts to rain, it's really slick, because this is still a fairly newly paved track. And they do run some 2-strokes on these tracks, so it holds a little bit of oil on the track, and when you get that first drizzle on the track, boy does it really make it slick. So here we are, we're going to start the heat race, telling the guys behind me to go ahead and start pushing. And we're off, starting out. There's P4 and back into P3, kind of back and forth here a little bit, start moving up, and I am just going to absolutely lose it in this corner here. So I'm going to lose the rear end because, like I said, it's very slick. It just get banged around a little bit. I think I'm good. And then I just get a little bit of a pit here and turns me around, and just hoping nobody runs into me very, very hard. So we're going to do what they call a last to first challenge here. So my friend Dustin is the last guy to pass me. I am number 25 out of 25 at this point in the heat race. But like I said, it's a long race. These are 12-lap. The heat race is a 12-lap race, and I am just going to have to fight my way back up. So I'm going to turn up the aggression a little bit here, and it's slick. I'm just going to go full send mode and start working my way up. There goes one. There's my buddy Dustin in front of me here, so I'm just going to try to pick a different line than he is. He slides a little bit wide on that turn, so I'm able to keep my speed a little higher than he does and make this front straightaway back in the, pick up a couple of spots here at P23. A long way to go, so I'm going to fight my way back up. We'll try to get that P1 spot, but we got our work cut out for us. These guys are being real cautious, so I'm in full send mode. Gain some spots, lose some spots. Those guys are going real tight. I know I can keep my speed up around the corner here and take both of them in that one turn. And because I kept my speed up, I'm able to pass this guy on the back straight. So this braking point right here is very important. Those back brakes help out slowing the kart down, but they also help you out rotating that kart in this slick conditions, so you can get that kart a little bit sideways and hopefully straighten it out for the exit and take off again. So we're already in P20. Got a couple more guys in our sights here right in front of us. Remember, when it's wet, that wide line seems to work pretty good on this front straight, both directions. There's 2 more spots. Just full send mode around these corners. It's still pretty slick. It did kind of stop raining, so it's, with all these 25 races on here, it's drying up a little bit. You can start to hear the tires squeak a little bit, so it's getting a little stickier. little more confidence going in these corners that you're not just going to lose it and slide out. But this is a really high-speed corner, so I'm going to dive in on this guy and just get that kart turning around. Sometimes if you hop those curbs like that on the inside, you can get that kart to rotate a little bit. If you're taking that tight inside line, you got to get that kart rotated around the corner. So sometimes you'll see me just hop those curbs a little more than normal, and that's kind of what I'm thinking when I'm doing that, is I'm taking that tight line and just trying to get that kart around. You can see we're able to hold that tight line on these corners, those high-speed corners, so the track is starting to grip up a little bit. Some people still being just a little cautious, and I'm able to catch a lot of these guys here. We're already up about 8 slots. Here's a couple more. They're going wide around that corner, so I take a tight turn. Lose a little bit of speed, so I can't hold the spot. But I do the old switchback. Since he's going from tight to wide, I'm going to do the opposite and just take that spot back from him. Now just kind of blending a little closer to the inside here because the track is drying up a little bit, so it's not really a wet line anymore. I'm able to hold that nice tight line on that corner. There was somebody on the outside there, so I went real tight on the inside, picked up another spot. Chasing this guy down in front of me, just trying to keep those turns nice and fast. Drafting in on him on this back straight here and outbrake him and dive for that corner. Keep that spot. Not really power sliding around that front part of that oval here, so we're able to keep some nice racing lines up. That's my buddy James, who won the last race. He has a really nice touch in the wet conditions, and he won the last race last Wednesday, so good on James. And had a little bit faster kart than he did. He's a very good racer, so I was just able to pass by him on that front straight. A couple more guys off on the side, past another person up to P11. Again, outbrake him in that corner. Take that corner nice and tight, but bouncing over that curb, the camera did slip down a little bit. And I was a little aggressive with that guy, and I kind of waved him through and let him have that spot back because that was a little bit too much of an aggressive move. So, and get a little wind noise off the camera too because it's just at a weird angle right now, but we'll get that fixed up here in just a minute. Trying to go really wide, get that corner right on that apex and keep that speed up because this is a big corner for passing right here. And he did a good job in front of me. Wasn't able to pass him, so I'm just going to tuck him behind the draft on his back straight. See if I can outbrake him here in this corner. And he slowed down on that corner. Got a little sideways, so I had to slam on the brakes, and I got a little sideways too, and we're still tucked up right into each other here. Drift a little to the outside, so I'm going to see if I can sneak on the inside here. And that's a hard corner to do if you're on that inside line like he is. So I'm going to go really wide and do the old switchback, see if I can pass him and able to keep that speed up and just fly right on by. Now I'm thinking just to make a nice turn there so I can keep my speed up and he can't pass me back on this back straight. So it looks like I'm clear. P10, we're up 15 spots. Working our way to number 1. That's our goal. Let's see if we can get there. I feel the camera bumping on my helmet, and I know there's something just not right about it. Any other camera, like a GoPro, you wouldn't have any footage right now because you're just looking straight at the ground. But this 360 is really nice because you have 360 degrees of view, so you can always have some good angles. Get it back up in the normal position here. You can see I'm able to hold that line, but you can see in the lights, it is starting to drizzle once again. So there is a time between when it starts to rain and when this track gets really slick, so I'm just trying to take advantage of that time before the track gets really slick. Hold on to my P10 spot while I'm trying to fight these guys up in front of me and close that position up. I can see them right out in front of me there. There's 3 or 4 guys just right in front of me. little bit wider on the front straight because we're back on a wet line here because it's getting slick once again. You can see I can't really hold that paint strip. I'm drifting a little bit wide, but I'm going to correct it out a little bit. But there's somebody out there, so here's a boom, big crash right there. I just could not stop, and I wanted to check, make sure he was okay because that was a big bump. And he had spun out, and I couldn't slow down. I couldn't avoid it, so I bumped into him, and that just happens in racing, especially when you're in the wet. But we're all the way up to P5 now, so we're gaining quite a few slots. 20 positions we've gained in the last few laps. So you get up in these top 5 slots here, and these racers they're very good, and it's hard to gain it. We had one guy go back, one guy passed me, so keep that P5 position, but I'm working to keep it, go down to P4, back and forth just a little bit. Yeah, these top 5 guys, they get pretty competitive, and they're good racers, so it's really hard to make those last few passes. So I'm working as hard as I can to try to get as close to the front as I can. He gets a little squirrely on the back end there and goes sideways, and I tap him again, and I actually straighten him out a little bit. So that worked to his advantage. And unfortunately, I lost a lot of energy. You guys are trying to challenge me. That was Miles, my friend Miles. He got a little sideways on that corner, so he lost a few spots on that one. So I'm holding P5. I know we're getting close to the end of the race. I'm trying to get that P4 at the very least. Guy in front of me goes a little wide. This is the last lap, and I was able to take that P4 position, and now I'm just trying to hold on to it because you can see we're power sliding through this turn. I know he's on the outside there. He's going to challenge this very last little bit. I'm leaning forward to get those front tires to bite. There we are at the end of the heat race, P4. So started P3, went back to the last place, P25, and worked my way all the way back up to P4. So we're going to start this final race in P4 position. That's a pretty good spot to be in. Like I said, 25 racers today. Big race. More racers, the more fun, I think. It's a great time to have all these guys out here. So once again, we're going to scrub the tires. The track, you can hear the tires are squeaking a little bit, so it's gripped up quite a bit. The rain has stopped. We had a lightweight race in between the heat race and the final here, so it's dried up quite a bit. So we're getting a lot of grip here. All right, we're going to come around this front straight lineup. You can see those guys in front, little camaraderie, give little fist bumps. We're all tightening it up for the start. You'll see off the right-hand side of the P1 guy, there's going to be a cone. Once he hits that cone, he's allowed to start accelerating, and then we're looking for that green flag. And here it is, we're off. Foot to the floor, just trying to stay in there, trying to survive these first few turns is the name of the game. Getting a little sideways, but we're holding in there. Everybody made it through in front of us here. Now we're all struggling for position, getting bumped from behind, from the front. All right, I really don't want to be in this nice tight line, so I'm going to try to slide back to the outside here on this back straight so I can get a racing line on this turn. Oh, almost got pit there, but I was able to hang on because the track gripped up here. If it was still wet, I'd be going on that one. Guy in front of me was going a little slower because he dusted up with those guys, but I just gave him a little bump here, and we transferred some energy and passed those two guys on the right here. So we're sitting about P5 right now. A lot of racing up in front, so I know I'm going to have opportunity. 3 or 4 guys off the track, but 3 or 4 guys past me, so we're still pretty much in the same spot. I'm going to keep that inside line, hop that curb so I can slow myself down and rotate the cart. And that puts me in the outside line here for the back straight, which is exactly where I want to be. I start that turn on the inside. He wants that inside line too, but he's not up beside me, so I can cut into that inside line, and we bump into each other, and that's racing. Rubbing is racing, right? So we're going around. I was able to hang on my position, trying to keep a little bit lower on the front straight because it's dry now, and I'm able to hold my spot. I'm chasing these guys down in front, so we'll speed up the pace a little bit here until we start catching these guys. See, I got somebody right behind me, pokes his nose in there every once in a while, and here he comes. He's going to challenge at this back straight again. And he got a really nice turn around that, so he was able to pull up right beside me, but I was able to keep that faster line on that turn, so end up right in front of him on this straightaway here, which is a nice spot to be in. Here we go. We're going to speed it up a little bit again for the next lap. Chase these guys down front. We're closing the gap just a little bit. All right, they're wrestling a little bit. You can see one guy gets his tires a little dusty. That slows him way down. Able to pass him. The guy in front of me got a little sideways, so lost a lot of speed. I'm trying to take advantage of that, but I'm end up on the outside. And that draft, this is the power of the draft right here, guys. So I'm on the outside all by myself. There's 4 guys in a line, and you can just see how they just can walk away from me. So that shows you the power of the draft in this race. But they're still wrestling each other. Matter of fact, they're getting a little aggressive up there, and somebody doesn't like what's going on. So he's pointing out to the other guy, and that happens here and there. I'm going to tuck back into the draft with these guys and wait for them to make a mistake so I can take advantage of it. Oh, there's somebody off the track up there, so there's a spot. That's my friend Miles again. Staying right behind this guy in front of me, keeping that draft going. Able to hold that paint strip now so you can see the grip is getting better. Nice and wide so I can cut this corner. I made up a lot of time with the guy in front there. I'm just waiting for my opportunity to pass him. If he goes wide, and he does because he gets that dust on the tires, I'm going to stay on the inside of him, just try to pass him with his back straight. But I got to rotate that kart, so I slam on those brakes, get that back end loose a little bit and turn it, and able to stay in front of this guy. So we hold on to that spot, but he's right there. I know he's there. He's going to bump me here and there and let me know that he's back there as well. He kind of does inside-outside looks. There's a little bump to tell me he's there. He's going to go nice and tight on the inside, but we have a little contact, but we're both coming out of there unscathed. And I got the inside line for this turn. He's going to try to switch back. You can see him fall back a little bit so he can take that early apex, but he wasn't able to complete the pass. We fight each other for a good 2-3 laps here, and he's still there. Gave me a little energy there, so I'm able to keep my speed up on the oval here for the front straight. But he had a really fast kart. He was a pretty aggressive driver, so bumping here and there, but he had a really, really fast kart, so I had trouble keeping up with him on these straightaways sometimes. He was going a little fast, went wide, so I was able to pass him again and keep my racing line down. As long as I can keep my technique refined, he's not going to be able to get me on these corners. Yeah, it was a good turn. He wasn't able to catch me. I know he's back there. I keep checking my shoulders. Now my focus is these guys right in front of me here. I want to chase them down before the race ends. 15 laps for this final race. It's a long race. I'll cross that line again. We'll speed it up here. We're able to separate from this guy behind me a little bit, and I'll just chase these guys down in front. Waiting for them to make a mistake. All these karts are matched fairly well. Some are a little faster in straight, some are a little loose. This kart is a little loose in the corner, so I'm sliding a little more than I usually do. But it has a pretty good straightaway speed, so I'm able to compete with everybody. I got one challenging me on the outside. He's taking that wet line, so he's way on the outside, and he's trying to gain that speed right there. Gives me a little tap, lets me know he's there, but I can keep my speed up through that corner, and I keep him clear behind me. A little wide on that corner, and I give him a little bit of an opportunity, but he's not able to take advantage of it. He's still there, though. He goes on the very inside line. I'm just trying to make a nice turn and keep that speed up. I can protect this inside line here, and he's not able to get by me. but he's there. Oh, he's right there. He's got a fast kart. He does get by, but I'm going to tuck in right behind him, get a few extra miles an hour in the draft here, and make this a nice turn. I just tuck up right in behind him, waiting for this turn to see if he makes a mistake, see if he goes wide. He goes a little wide, so I'm right there on his tail. On the back straight, real important where you pick your braking point. If he goes wide, I'm going to dive on him. He doesn't. He takes a nice line. Like I said, he has a pretty fast kart in the straightaway, so I know I'm not going to be able to pass him. I'm just going to tuck in right behind him here and draft off him. And last lap. Really trying to get by this guy on the last lap here. I think I can do it. He has a faster kart. I think my racing line is pretty quick, so I go really wide so I can cut that corner in, keep the speed up. He's doing a pretty good racing line. He goes a little wide, so I have an opportunity, but he can't make the pass, so this is my big opportunity, is this next turn up here off this back straight. If he goes wide, gets loose at all, I'm going to dive on the inside to him, and that's what he does. He gets wide, slides off a little bit, loses momentum, and I'm able to just drive right around the outside of him. I just got to clear him for this turn here, this last turn. Here comes the checkered flag. He's going to challenge off my left, and I'm able just to hold him off, maybe a half a kart width length in front of him here. So finish up at P5. That's always my goal, top 5. I'd love to get in the podium. I've had one podium finish so far, but the points leader, this is a points race, all right? So every race we keep our points, and right now I'm number 2 in the points. I'm about 3 or 4 behind the guy right in front of me. So it's going to be a big, exciting race next week. Come out and see us next Wednesday night, Music City Kartplex. Thanks, guys. God bless you.